This is going to be a long stream. We got a lot to cover today. This was not on the docket. This was not on the agenda. I was not planning to talk about Clipse, Kendrick, and all of that. So I kind of, and like I said, bro, I wish there is a button that you can push to just go live immediately. But I like to be prepared, right? Like, what up, Ash? I really like to be prepared, man. I like to have everything in order, and because I believe it provides a better experience for the viewer. But if y'all could see some of the real-time actual thoughts that I have about things as soon as I become aware of them, I think it would probably be some of the best content y'all would see. RMS, what up? I'll be like, yo, what is going on? All right, so let me just kind of outline what we gonna do today, gang. Shout out to everybody pulling up, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We hit 34K over the weekend. I was not able to celebrate that with y'all. At least I don't think. Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for 34K. All right, let me outline kind of what we gonna do today. We got a lot to cover. I actually dropped something off the docket because I didn't want to spend 3 hours here. I foresee this probably being about an hour and a half, 2 hour long stream. We will be cutting up everything and putting it out later for everybody to watch if they were not able to join the live. So shout out to everybody who still clicks on those videos too. All right, so first things first, we're gonna talk about this Clipse, Kendrick, UMG, Def Jam, Drake debacle. Shout out to 34K. Thank you so much. You already know. Thank you, Ash. Then we're going to get into, we're going to recap some of the GNX weekend, which is the Bay Area and Vegas. I know Deleted went, so shout out to Deleted. We might get into some of his video and see what he did over there. We're going to get into that. We're going to recap that. We're going to look at some of the publications from, I believe, the Bay Area that I was able to pull up. I don't think I was able to pull anything from Vegas, but we'll find that. We definitely going to get into some GNX TikToks as well. And I had one other thing. But either way, man, y'all got a great show lined up. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I appreciate all of that. We got a lot to cover today. All right. So first and foremost, man, this is actually insane. The audacity from Drake's side. Let me just say that. The audacity from Drake's side to pull what they're pulling, now understanding some of the behind the scenes of what was going on. And this seems to be, I don't know, they don't really give a date on this or a time frame, but it says the verse has been handed in for a while. And I was even under the impression that the verse had not been done yet, and that he was at the show looking for Kendrick to get in the booth. That was even a narrative that I was kind of pushing, like, yo, he was out there. This has already been done. So I know some of y'all have been around, some of y'all have seen this already, but let's talk about let's talk about the Clipse and their GQ magazine spread. First and foremost, let me say congrats to them for it seems like a resurgence that we're going to be getting. We're getting new music from them really soon. As soon as next week, I believe. Is it next week? No, it's not next week. We're getting new music from them really soon. They did drop Ace Trumpets. I did react to Ace Trumpets, chat. It's been blocked. I seen Screws literally just went up maybe like 10 to 15 minutes ago. I don't know if they're going to do that across the board or if Screw he probably just has a connection or something like that. So shout out to him for getting his up. But I want to say this because what I'm seeing already is Kendrick is going to be taking over this GQ topic. So people are going to be, it's the Kendrick stimulus package. It doesn't necessarily mean anything negatively against Clipse because I understand that people still want to hear Clipse and I want to hear music from them. But I know people are going to be at least going to this article because of the mention of Kendrick and some of the things that have been going on with that. July 11th. Thank you. Thank you. The audacity, right? So I wanted to just give them their props for this and everything that they got going on because we will be covering that too. We'll be covering that too. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the Kendrick portion of this. We can read the whole thing, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying is because it's a pretty extensive spread, but we're kind of going to be focusing only on the Kendrick portion of this, right? Let's get into it. Hit that like button, gang. My bad. So it goes into still, it wouldn't be a Clipse album without some label woes. Nearly derailing the fun even after the product was cooked up to purity, which is the drug bars. Hey, look, GQ is doing a thing with this writing. It was cooked up to purity. Y'all know, drug bars. The duo's lore is, of course, marked by the label's politics that delayed a quick follow-up to their debut album, Lord Willin', forcing them to dominate the mixtape circuit with their seminal We Got It For Cheap series while crafting Hell Hath No Fury with the chip on their shoulder. What happened with Let God Sort 'Em Out is less dramatic, but it's a situation with massive reverberations nonetheless. All right? If you expected the album last summer, the brothers sympathized. So did they. Pusha says they felt confident, proud, and assured of themselves when they presented the music to Def Jam. The label loved what they had heard, except for Kendrick Lamar's guest verse on the thunderous Chains and Whips. So already, when the album drops, there's going to be some people who do the full album reaction. I'm going to do the full album reaction. There's going to be some people who, well, I don't even know if we could do the full album reaction because they blocking everything now. So I'm already kind of thinking if we do reactions to that, it's probably going to get blocked anyway. They're going to be going straight to this song, Chains and Whips. Chains and Whips, the final version of the song that Pharrell teased at the first Louis Vuitton runway show, and the song Pusha says was the first to come out of their sessions. Don't be fooled by Pusha's interviews appealing for one last guest verse, and the Twitter jokes that he went to a GNX tour date to physically walk Kendrick into the nearest studio. So even that is something that I was kind of pushing for. And was like, okay, maybe he hasn't gotten the verse from Kendrick yet. He's been super busy, but we should have known the verse has already been done. K-Dot's verse homework has been turned in for a while now, so we don't know when. Like, we don't know if it was mid beef, directly post beef, or kind of in this like lingering time where it's been done since then, right? But after a summer of beef between their two biggest artists that resulted in a still ongoing lawsuit from Drake, this is crazy work just to even read this. Def Jam's parent company UMG blanched at the antagonistic optics. The antagonistic optics of two of Drake's biggest enemies linking on wax. So you mean to tell me, bro has filed and refiled stating UMG don't got my back. UMG is against me. Facts. Yet they had to be aware and act accordingly as to not have two ops on the same song because they scared that it would hurt you? Did that make it? I don't even know what side UMG is fighting for their own sake, but it don't seem like they have a side. Right? Because if they win at it, if they went far enough to say Def Jam's parent company, UMG, blanched at the antagonistic optics of two of Drake's biggest enemies, Lincoln on Wax. They heard the verse. So they heard the verse and heard that it wasn't no beef, but still said, yo, y'all can't even be seen together on what? This is terrible for hip hop. This is terrible. Now you got labels stepping in, playing. Yo, they beefing over there, man. We can't have y'all two together because it's going to look like y'all jumping on him. And then he's going. This is terrible. I don't even know if people really understand that. Shout out CA. I don't even know if people really understand how bad that is. That they said, bro, we don't even like y'all being on the same song together. Not what you're saying in the song. We don't like y'all being on the same song together because y'all are an op of Drake. We'll continue. UMG blanched at the antagonistic optics of two of Drake's biggest enemies linking on Wax. Pusha calls their apprehension stupid, primarily because none of the bars in Kendrick's otherwise excellent verse could really be perceived as a shot or even a subliminal. So like I said, they heard the verse. They heard the verse. They heard it and saw that it wasn't even, but we just don't even want y'all together. Come on, bro. If this ain't whole shit, I don't know what is, bro. And again, now are they sticking up for, it seems like they sticking up for Drake. And it also makes me understand, right? Like if we go back and we just listen, and I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the timeline is, but it's F the industry. And F him and F the industry. And if you messing with them, then F you too. Right? You taking it there, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do. Right? So he been saying F the industry, bro. The industry ain't, listen, y'all, the industry ain't on my side neither. But I think that that's crazy. And we haven't even gotten to the good part yet. Pusha calls their apprehension stupid, primarily because none of the bars in Kendrick's otherwise excellent verse could be perceived as a shot or even a subliminal. It does, however, contain the stellar line. Therapy taught me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a f. Y'all finish that. Pusha can barely contain his disgust, recounting how the stalemate with Def Jam played out. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse. So, first of all, one, you think that Pusha T and Malice have any sort of say in what the hell Kendrick was gonna do? First of all, you thought they had say in it? Like, oh, y'all OGs, he gonna listen to y'all? Get the bro, none of that. None of that. That's one. Ain't nobody gonna tell him to do nothing, period. And that's not just, that's any artist worth they salt. You really not gonna be able to go to them and tell them to change something, period. And let alone Kendrick. That's one. Two, y'all niggas let Not Like Us, Meet the Grams, 616 in LA, Euphoria, y'all let all y'all Meet the Grams, y'all let Meet the Grams hit the airwaves and then said, yo, we don't want it. We don't want him on. We don't want to hear that. That verse can't be out there. Are y'all stupid? Are y'all stupid? Come on, bro. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. And it tells me, it also tells me this, right? It also tells me this. Whoever's in charge or whoever's making these decisions probably don't really understand hip hop. And I'm not saying from a business perspective of business, right? I'm not talking about that. It's UMG. I'm saying they might not be able to read between the lines. We can read the lines because they heard the verse and maybe they didn't know if a certain bar or a certain line had 6, 7 different meanings that the internet's gonna pick apart and be like, oh, damn. He said this and nobody. Y'all see what I'm saying? So they like, bro, we don't censor it completely where we can understand it, bro. We don't want nothing going out that even remotely sounds like it could be a diss because we already into it with them in this damn lawsuit. We already into it with them. We already in the thick of it. Crazy. We'll continue. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing. Facts. And that's the thing, bro. That's another thing on their part. It's not like they was gonna do it anyway. They lyricists in hip hop, royalty in their own sense. They're not gonna go back to him like, hey, bro, the label said, can you check? Stop playing with them, bro. My mic. Thank you. Bro, it's literally a button every time. All right, we back. Let me know. We back. It's literally a button every time. It just comes on out of nowhere. All right, we're back into it. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I wasn't doing. He explains, and then they wanted me to take the record off. They wanted me to take the record off. And so after a month of not doing it, so they went from, bro, censor the verse to if you're not censoring the verse, remove the record. This is absolutely insane, bro. I cannot believe that this is actually happening. What's up, Mujer? This is crazy. So after a month of not doing it, Steve Gawley, the lawyer over there, was like, we'll just drop the clips. So Drake is going back and forth and saying, hey, bro, they don't got my back over there. They want to see me fail. But on the other side, they like, yo, we willing to drop one of the greatest hip hop duos ever just to make sure that the record don't get out. What? But that can't work because I'm their solo. But if you let us all go, sure enough, Def Jam eventually agreed to release the clips and drop Pusha as a solo artist, freeing the duo up to shop for a new home with the finished Clipse album and plenty more music in their pockets. Ultimately, Pusha says the endeavor was gratifying. It felt good. It felt good to even see how other labels were buying for the project. Now, as they teased last week with the picture in front of the label's plain insignia, they've ended up at Jay-Z's Roc Nation, where they feel fully supported and energized. I think that synergy, just in a rap sense, is going to speak volumes, Pusha says, of the partnership. The only thing I've noticed from them so far is that they have not, they definitely blocked, they blocked our reaction over here. So we were not able to react to that new music. So if they're officially doing business with The Roc, and the Kendrick verse was never the feature, Pusha kept alluding to holding out for, does that mean we're due for another Pusha and Jay-Z collaboration? Because he said that verse had already been done, so maybe the verse he was waiting for was for Jay. Pusha's already gotten a latter career best from Jay. Jay one can only imagine how hard Jigga will go for his first True Blue Clipse album. We made history a couple of times. Puss said with a coy smirk, referring to the two elusive J features he's nabbed in the past. I feel like being in business is a bigger link up than any verse. Asked if Jay made his patented screw face when he heard the new music, Pusha replies, yeah, but you got that on camera already, referring to crowd shots of Jay reacting to chains and whips during the Louis Vuitton show. So, chat, let me know what y'all think about that, man. Really, honestly, let me know how y'all feel about that. I think that, I think we'll know more. I think hopefully we'll learn more. When the album drops, I'll be super excited to hear it and see what all the hoopla was about. And I do think that this even, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have the entire story. We don't have the full story. We have Clipse story, which obviously we're going to take it with a grain of salt, right? But I want to see what all the hoopla was about. And if you ask me, this is an even bigger motion mover to get people to listen to the album. If you had any doubts, or anybody had any doubts about this album, people are going to be listening to it now because they want to see exactly what's going on and what was said. And if they can find a diss or some subliminal there that maybe they were worried about. So I think this is super interesting. I think there's a lot of layers to it. My judgment is still, if this is true, because again, we only have one side. If this is true, my judgment is that, Drake is beyond out of pocket if they've been going to bat for him like that, bro. If they've been going to bat for him like that, Drake is beyond out of pocket, bro. That's enough of that.